Hello my YouTube friends, I want to welcome you to this lesson in Revit. In this lesson, I'm just going to teach you to model what you are seeing right here. All right, so we are going to model the topo surface using the Toposolids. We are going to do all the excavations that you are seeing here, including the frame that you are seeing right here. In this lesson, I'll do it step by step so that anyone can follow, both beginners and also those who have been using Revit for some time. All right, now before I proceed, I want to encourage you to ask you if you like what I'm doing on this channel. Please make sure that you like my video, subscribe to this channel, and most importantly, if there's someone who wants to accelerate, learning Revit, architecture, Revit structure, robot structure analysis, and some other softwares, please make sure that you check the links in the description and also the card above. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'll just start from scratch. I'll just go to File and I'll go to New and I'll click on New Project. Then from here, I'm just going to start using a default template by clicking on Browse. I'm using an Imperial template, so I'll just pick our structure analysis default template there and click on Open and click on OK. All right, here we are. So the first thing that I would do, of course, is to go to South there and make sure that I set up my levels. But before that, let me change the units. You can see that these are Imperial units. I'll just type UN on my keyboard. I'll start by changing the length there from the Imperial units to millimeters. Then click OK, click OK. You can see that everything has changed here. I'll type UN on my keyboard. I can change the area from there if you want. Square meters. Click OK. Then I can also change maybe even the volume. Since these are excavations, I need to check the volume. I'll use the cubic meters. Where are the cubic centimeters? We have cubic meters there. Then click OK and OK. All right, now this is level 1. You can just double click there to change it, okay, to GL, that is ground level. Click on yes. Then the next one, this one I'll change it to level 1, just like that. Click outside and yes. I'll add the level on top by selecting on this one, right click and create similar. And I can just hover the cursor there. It doesn't matter. I'll need to change the spacing later. Then place it right there, click on modify. You can see that we have some black colors. It means that it's not appearing here. We'll change it. So we have level 1, level 2. I think the levels are okay. I'll also add a level at the bottom. Select there, right click, create similar. So just place there and click there. All right, click on modify. Now I'll change this one to the top of footing. Click outside, click. Now let me, change the spacing. So I'll select on this one and I want this one to be 1 meter, 1 m. Enter on your keyboard. That's 1 meter. Then between this one and this one, I just want to have 3 meters. I can type 3000, enter, or simply 3m. Select that one, click there, 3m, enter. You see that everything looks good. All right, now you notice here that level, the TOF and level 2, these are black. They are not being seen here. To change that, just go to view, then plan views, then structure plan. You see, you select the 2 there, select both and click on OK. Then you see that we have TOF, the GL, everything is here. As you can see, if I go to south, the color has changed. All right, I'm going to open the ground level by just double clicking there, and let me just have some grids, some quick grids there. You can just go to structure, then click on the grid. Then I'll just have maybe to have maybe about 3 or so. Okay, I'll change the spacing later on. So I just have these. Then I also have maybe this one. I'll just have 2. Okay, the spacing, I'll change it as we are going to see. All right, now the spacing between this one, maybe I want 2700. Click outside between this one and this one. As you can see, these are called temporal dimensions. I can select on that one, maybe 3000 for 3 meters. Then between this one and this one here, the one I've selected is the one to be moved. I'll check there. maybe 2700, click outside. This is what we have. I can select on those grids and I can hold my left mouse, drag it like that, select this one. Oh, Control Z to undo, select this one, hold my left mouse like that. Now let me also counter check the spacing. This is too much, maybe 3 meters, 3M, enter on my keyboard. Also this one, maybe 3.5 M, enter on my keyboard. Okay, here we are. Then I'll select on that just to make sure that it's neat, drag it there, and this is what we have. All right, so if I go to south, you can see that we have those, and I can go back to ground level. Now from here, I'll start now modeling the columns. I'll just use the default, columns here because I want to focus more on the excavation. So I'll go to structure, go to column there. I'll just click there and I'm going to pick, that column, 12 by 18. If you want to check the actual dimensions, just click on edit. You can see that this is, maybe let me change this one to 300. Okay, by maybe 450. Oh, this is a column. Okay, 300 by 450. Okay, maybe by 400. Apply. Okay, then I'll have it here. Then I can just select at grids, then select all these. I'll go back to the column there, just cancel from there. Just want to do this one once again. Okay, at grids. Okay, I'll select from bottom, actually from there. That is the preview, then finish. Click escape. All right, then I'm just going to remove this one by deleting from there. If I go to my 3D view now, this is the model that I created. Let me open another 3D view. See that we have the columns there. If I change this one to realistic, you can see that you have the columns. Now these columns, if I select there, it's from the top of footing to the ground level. This is what I want. If I go to the south, you see that these are the columns. Now I can select all these columns. Maybe let me select everything like that. Then I can go to filter, check none. I just want to pick the columns from there, apply OK. So now I want to copy these columns. If I go to south, I want to copy it between ground level and level 1, and also between level 1 and level 2. So the columns have been selected. Just click on copy to clipboard right there. Then click that arrow and click on align to selected levels. So I'll pick up to level 1 and also hold shift and pick level 2 and click on OK. All right, now don't worry about what has happened here. It's because it will not expand automatically, the columns to be attached because it's picking this one. But what I can do is the others on top have been selected. I can simply change from level 2 and from level 1. Actually, the bottom is level 1 up to level 2 and remove the offset. Move inside, you see it's like that. Then I can also select these, go to filter, check none, structural column, apply OK. Do the same by changing from level, actually this is now supposed to be level 1 to level 2. So I'll change this one to level 2. Then I'll remove this one as 0. Just click on OK. What have I done? Control Z. I have to select these. All right, actually it's from ground level to level 1. Sorry for that. Check none. Apply OK. It should be from the base level, should be ground level. Okay, which is GL up to level 1. So I'll just put a 0 there, move in, and you see that it's like that. Go to my 3D view, you see that all my columns are there. Now let me add the bases right there. I'll go to top of footing right here. You see that you have the columns. Just go to structure, isolated footings, just click there. Now you see that by default we have those. You can click on edit, duplicate, rename it the way you want it to be, and click on OK. And now just pick the actual foundations that you want to use. Maybe this one is gonna be 1200. Okay, this one's going to be 400, and this one maybe 1800. All right, then that is the name. You can rename it if you want. Apply OK, and I can have my foundations just by clicking there. These are my bases. It's as simple as that. So let me add these bases. I can copy if I want, or I can simply, you know, do add grids, then just drag like that, and you can have them like that. But I don't want to do this because these others, if I want to rotate, can just use a space bar on my keyboard, space bar like that, and you can have them, you know, the way you want your bases to be. So I have those, I have that one also. And I'll click on modify to escape, go to my 3D view. Here we are, we have our bases and our columns, as you can see from here. All right, what next? We have some tie beams which we want to put here. Now, if I check the columns here, I don't want to do something more than this. So we have 300 by 400. Okay, so my tie beams here, just go to structure and you use a beam. Then click from the properties there and pick this one. Make sure that you edit and counter check, you know, the sizes for your beam. So I can use maybe a 250. All right, 250. What is the depth? Maybe by 400, and apply OK. Now from here you can see that it will be at GL. This is not what I want. I want it to be at topo footing. You see the level that I've opened is the one that's going to pick automatically. So you can as well change from here. Even as you draw on top here, it will go to that placement, you know, plane. All right, now I can start adding my, you know, my tie beams just like that. Just like that, as you can see, just like that. You know, chain is selected, so I don't have to escape, as you can see from here. So I can pick it from there and make sure that I pick all these to have my tie beam. Can continue just like that. Right, so escape from there, pick it again from there, and finish it. As you can see, all my tie beams are in. Let me check it, and you see that you have the tie beams just like that. Now let me counter check the tie beams. What is the depth? Maybe this is too much. Maybe I just want to have 300. Okay, this is the type parameter that I'm using, so all the beams will change. If I click on apply, you see all the beams are going to change. All right. Okay, so let's have our beams now on top. So I'll just go to level 1. We can start with the level 1 here, and I'll just click on beam, and I can still use the same beam. Just click on edit, the same beam here, but I'll just duplicate, you know, it has been duplicated. Click OK, and I want to change this one maybe to 400. All right, then apply OK, and it's still the same process. If you want, you can click on grids and select everything like that. You can see you have all the beams. This is the quickest way of adding your beams. Finish, go to your 3D view, see that you have all the beams on top. Now let me copy these beams, the same beams on top there. All right, I can select one by one by just selecting like that. Hold Control and just pick the beams that I want to copy on top there. You can as well select it from the plan view. It's still up to you. So I have these beams, as you can see from here. Now what I'll do, I'll click on copy to clipboard, paste, then align to selected levels, then level 2, and I'll click on OK. So my beams are there, as you can see. I don't want to add a beam here. I simply want to remove that one because this is how my structure is. Perfect. All right, we are done with our structure, and don't forget to save your structure whenever you are modeling. So we have our structure, perfect structure here. Now let's do our, toposolid here. Now it will depend if the survey was done. Okay, if you have some points which you can CSV file, you can do that, but we are just going to create, a generic, toposolid here, topo terrain here for our project. So I'll go to ground level actually right here. And what I'll do, I'll go to massing and siting. We have these two called the toposolid. I'll just create from scratch. Right, then I'll use a rectangle and I'll just create, as you can see, that is a toposolid. We are going to change its properties. Just want to have a toposolid like that from here up to somewhere there. Okay, I'm going to click on finish. Let's see how it's gonna be before we change any properties. As you can see, or actually it's not supposed to be sit on top, it's supposed to be on ground, so I can still select on it, it's not a problem. Then you just change to ground level to move like that, and this is what we have. Now you see that we need to increase the thickness. We also need to have it the way this one is, as you can see. All right, we have grass on top with the, you know, the soil underneath. So how do you do that? Right, I'll change it. It's under realistic, so I'll just select on this one. This is the toposolid. Just click on edit, click on edit once again right there. So you see that we have this one by category, which is a material. I'm going to change this one, and by clicking there, I can find the earth. Okay, from within there, which is the earth there, then click on OK. All right, now I'm going to insert another layer, which I'm going to change to finish. This is the structure, then the finish. Now for this one, I'll click, I'll create a new material here, create new. All right. Okay, so this is the material right there. And I'm going to call it, okay, it's a default material. I'll leave it, but I'll just change the actual material. It's this one, which is right here. I'll click there to change, to replace that asset, and let me find grass. All right. So it will load, and I'm going to pick that one. Just click the two arrows there. It will load within your project here. Then click on apply and click on OK. I haven't changed the name, but it doesn't matter. You can change the name if you want. Then OK. Now you just need to change the thickness there. I will just make it so thin, maybe 25 millimeters for my grass. Then for this one, I'll make it deeper, so maybe 1,500 meters going down there. Then I'll click on apply. Okay, click outside, and as you can see, this is perfect. This is exactly what we want. Now of course you don't have a surface which is so flat, but you can bring in your topo surface from an external file, CSV or other means. But in this case, we are just going to, you know, to raise it and lower it at the bottom here. So I'll just select on it, and I'll just click on add a point there. So I can add some points here, maybe that point, and that point. Then I'll orbit here. I want to add some points here, maybe this point, just like that, and add a few points somewhere here. All right, now I can change the elevation for my points. I'll click on modify sub elements there. So each time I click there, I want to lower this part maybe to -100. Okay, click. Then I'll also pick that one, lower it to maybe 150, so that the surface is not even. Then I can pick that one, maybe maybe another 100. Click. Then I'll pick this one and lower it maybe -500, and this one also lower it to -500. Okay, so I can orbit this side. I'm going to raise this one a bit to maybe 100. 100 is okay the way it is. This one 100 is fine. Then I'll go to the next one, 100. Okay, this one I can say 100 is fine. And now I'll skip the other two. I'm just trying to create some form of, you know, an even surface there. You can bring in the actual points here. So I'll select on this one, and for this one I'm going to say maybe 500, a positive value, so that it goes up. Then for that one, click there, add 500, and let's see what we get. Okay, so this is what I want. I'll just escape from my keyboard, and you can see that we have that surface there, which we are going to work with. All right, now what I want to do is to do some, some clearing and grabbing. Of course, before you start construction, you want to clear the topo surface there, which you call clearing and grabbing, and you want to, to level it so that you can start now marking in readiness for the excavation of your foundation. So to do that clearing of the topo surface so that it's even, you can simply go to, let me go to ground level. All right, zoom in, and I'll change this one. Let me change it to realistic so that I can see properly here. I'll go to ground level. From there, I'll go to massing and siting. I just want to do this one again. I'll go to in place mass. Mass 1 is fine. Then I'll go to, using a rectangle. I'll just click that point. Let me change this one to wireframe. Maybe I need to see what I'm doing there. Okay, so rectangle there. I'll click there. Okay, perfect. Now I can see what I'm trying to create there. Right, so I'll leave it somewhere here. Okay, it's fine. I think it's fine. I'll just click on create form. Okay, so the form has been created, as you can see from here. Then I can go to my 3D view. For some reason, it's not straight. Okay, it's fine because I can play with this. Okay, it's like it's sitting right there. It's trying to follow this, which I don't expect. I don't need this. So for that, I have to do it exactly the way I did it, because I have to cut it, it has to be flat, not at an angle at the bottom there. So what I'll do, this is ground level. I'll use the top of footing so that it goes down there instead of at the top there. I'll go to massing. Please don't disappoint me. All right, click OK. Then rectangle. Let me try it this way. I hope this one should work. Okay, just like that. Click there, then click on create form. Let me go to my 3D view. Perfect. Okay, so the reasoning is that because I was picking the ground level, it seems to be following the slope there, but just go down there and pick the one at the bottom and it should work fine, as you can see from here. All right, now what I want to do is to just cut slightly. So I'll go to the right. All right, so now from here, I can change to wireframe and select the bottom. I know that you can see the surface is right there. I want to make sure that the lowest point here is just cutting, a bit from the lowest point. Okay, so let me just raise it a bit. Okay, up to somewhere here. As you can see, now I can go back to my realistic mode. Okay, so I've edited the way I want it to be. Now, before I do anything, before I come out of this, I need to use a cut. Okay, do I need to click on finish? Yeah, perfect. First of all, make sure that you click on finish. Then you can go to cut, then click on cut geometry, then pick the toposolid there, then click on that void there. You see that it's going to cut out, that part. All right, it's not so deep here because what I want, but on the other end, you can see that it's quite deep. All right, you can play with this and raise it up and down. It doesn't matter. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve from there. So let me raise it a bit, I think. Right, I'll go somewhere there. I'll select on it. Now I want to make sure that I'm seeing the lowest point. Okay, I'll go to the left. I'll change this one to wireframe so that I can see through. Okay, so now select this one, edit in place. I'll select on it once again. I can raise it a bit if I want. maybe somewhere there. Click on finish. I think I'll leave it here and change back to realistic. And I think, okay, it looks better now. I think I'm happy with what I have. All right, now we need now to excavate the bases and the tie beams there. Again, I'll just go to the topo footing right here. And what I'm going to do is still the same thing. Just make sure that you go to massing and siting, then in place mass 2. I'll just click there, and I'm going to use a rectangle, and I'm just trying to trace, you know, on these bases. Make sure that create form is selected. As you can see from here, I can go to my 3D view. The form has been created. Make sure that you click on finish. I can select on the form, and just make sure that let me just extend above here, but at the bottom it has to align with the base of you know, the pad foundation. So it's very, very important. So I'll just go to this view, okay, then change this one to fine level of detail. I mean wireframe, sorry for that. Then I can drag this one to ensure that it aligns with, you know, this base. So right there, this is very, very important. Then above you can extend as you wish. All right, just like this. Then I'll change this one to realistic. Now I'll simply copy these on all the other bases, maybe top of footing. I need to select it first. I'll select on it, then ground level. Okay, if I want, I can use this view. Maybe let me go to top of footing. Okay, I can use this view and simply copy from there, and I just want to copy all these just like that. And we are going to cut out, you know, to excavate all the way up to the top. So I'll just do that, and for these others, I'll just add it here, then escape once, and I'll rotate it. So from this point up to that point, then I can simply, you know, move it in place by picking that point and somewhere there. Then I can click on copy, then pick that point and make sure that I copy it on these other bases, as you can see from here. Perfect. I'll go to my 3D view. You see that I have, you know, those massings, as you can see from here. Now let me just hide the column so that it doesn't get in my way. VG on my keyboard, then find the structural, I think structural columns, deactivate it from there, apply OK, so that I can see what I have there. So just like that. Now what you need to do is to simply cut. Once again, just go to cut there, cut geometry, pick, you know, the topo surface there, then make sure that the multiple is selected there, and now you can start picking, you know, all the you know, the massing, okay, the forms. All right, just like that. As you can see in the background, it's cutting. If at all I forget one, I can still go back and just cut at any time. What else is remaining? I think all of them, you know, have been cut. So right click, cancel. I can now inspect what is below there. As you can see, oh, I forgot about this one. Right, it's not a problem. You can still go to cut, then pick this one and pick that form. You can see that it's cutting. All right, now if you want to inspect the volume, you can still click on it, and you can see the excavation volume is 1.294 cubic meters. Gross volume you see, and any other information that you want from here. So this is able to give you the excavation volume. Now let's deal with the ones for the tie beams there. All right, it's still the same thing. I just need this time to go to actually top of footing is still okay. All right, so I can pick this one. You can see that from here it's a mass. I'll simply copy it, maybe from this point up to that point. Now what I want to do is to just you can adjust it in anywhere, maybe like that. Then I'll move it. All right, move from the center there, and let me just place it somewhere here, escape. Then I can select and make sure that it aligns with the tie beam there. Perfect. Now I can simply drag it up to the end, and I'll drag it all the way up to the end somewhere here. All right. Okay, now I can simply copy in that direction by clicking on copy, and I'll copy it from this point up to that point and up to that point. So do the same in the other direction, rotate it. Maybe let me do that so that you don't say I'm skipping things. I'll click on copy, I'll pick it, copy it like that, escape once, then rotate. So I'll just pick that point. The second point should be in this other direction, or you can just type 90 degrees. And now I'm going to move it by clicking on move and pick this point, then drag it up to maybe up to here. Okay, perfect. Now make sure that this one is, you know, adjusted up to somewhere here. And now I can copy these ones by clicking on copy, and I can copy from there. Just make sure that constraint is selected so that you don't move it accidentally, just like that. And which one? This one. For this one, I'm just going to reduce it a bit because it doesn't need to go that other end. So I'll drag it. Even this one, I'm supposed to drag it up to somewhere there. Okay, all right. So drag it up to there. Now just go to your 3D view and counter check. Now there's one mistake that I made. First of all, you have to make sure that you adjust these to make sure that it sits at the base of the, you know, the tie beams there. For example, if I select this one, let me first of all go to ground level, or maybe the TOF. I want to select the, let me just go to filter, check none. If I select the structural framing there and also the mass, apply, okay. So I've selected the structural framing and the mass. I can go to my 3D view here, maybe in that direction, go to the front, then change this one to wireframe. Okay, let me see what I've got here. Okay, I'll go back once again. I have this view, but I can go back once again to this one. I want to select tab on my keyboard. You can see that I've selected the beam, then hold control and select the massing now. Let me go to my 3D view. Am I not selecting, you know, I want to make sure that I align it. What I can do as an alternative is to cut the section. I think the section is better. Just go to view section, pick that point and that point, then just reduce the extents maybe up to somewhere here. Let me open up this section by double clicking the head. All right, so now I can go ahead and select by going to maybe the top of footing, select this one, or maybe start by selecting the beam, tab on your keyboard, then hold control and select your, you know, the form, the massing, then go to your section. I think now I can see it. So you see that I just wanted to see where, so you need to select this. This is the form and make sure that it attaches there. Right, this is very, very important because if it goes below, it means that you're excavating up to the bottom there, but it's not what you want. You can do that. I'm not going to do the others. You can copy this one. Since I'm done with this one, I can simply maybe remove this one, just delete by deleting from there. This one has been adjusted. I can click on it and copy from there, you know, pick it from there up to there, then escape once on your keyboard and simply drag it here. So do the same in the other direction. Make sure that you do this before you start copying. I think I just missed that, so don't make the same mistake. All right, but I mean, it's not a lot of work. You can easily do it. All right, so here we are, and I'll go to my 3D view, change this one to realistic, And you see that if you go there, now we just need to excavate. Now you can hide, you know, what you have already, you know, excavated. All right, maybe HH on your keyboard as a shortcut. All right. I just want to make sure that I apply the isolations. Now, what you need to do to excavate this, just need to go to cut geometry and pick, you know, the excavation there, the toposolid. Make sure that the multiple is selected. Now you can start picking, you know, these. You can even see that it will just highlight the ones which haven't, you know, excavated the toposolid. To not pick the ones for the bases. So as you move it, you can simply see what you are supposed to excavate, as you can see from here. What else is remaining? I think everything has been, oh, this one here. If you are done, you just escape, then you can check and see which one is not yet done. Okay, I think we have what we have here. This one is not done, as you can see from here. So I can go to cut, can pick this one and just pick that one here, escape, and you can finish the rest. So let me bring back everything here by just going to VG. We have the columns there, apply, okay. And now, which columns did I bring? VG, structure column, not just the columns, structure columns right there, then apply, okay. As you can see, the beams, the column and everything. If I want now, I can select everything here. You just go to filter, check none, and I don't want to show the massing, okay. So apply, okay, and I can simply right click and hide in view by elements. Perfect. So this is what you need to do if you want to do the excavations. You just have to play with the massing. You need to play with the toposolid. As I said, if you have the actual points from the surveyor, you can bring in those points and make sure that you have the actual, you know, topo surface, and you can excavate the way, you know, your ground, or the way you want to, you know, to lay your building on top. So thanks for watching. If you like what I'm doing, please make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also check my website.